These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan.
It's been a good season.
They cannot have fucked this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried.
Charles Barkley didn't hold back in response to Angel Reese and others after the WNBA's investigation found no evidence of fan misconduct or racial slurs at the Fever game. Some players need to stop being envious and start appreciating what Caitlin Clark is bringing to the league, Barkley stated. You might be wondering why he's defending her so strongly and why some players are criticizing Caitlin Clark despite her elevating the entire league. Let's unpack this controversy and Barkley's passionate reaction.
If you got people in a room, if you got a bunch of dudes in a room and says, let's fuck up the WNBA, we couldn't have came up a master plan what these women have done.
Barkley was outspoken when news broke about the WNBA probing claims of fan misconduct and racial bias during Indiana Fever's season opener. This doesn't do any favors for the league, he said, his tone filled with frustration. Right from the start, Barkley questioned the accusations, calling them a distraction from what should have been a celebration of Caitlin Clark's triple-double and the Fever's big win.
So it's just petty jealousy, and it's really unfortunate because, and the thing that's really bad right now, we're not even talking about basketball. That's the problem that I have with the whole thing.
To Barkley, these allegations were just needless noise slowing the league's progress, and he made his position clear. The investigation, launched soon after the Fever's 93-58 victory over the Chicago Sky, aimed to examine claims that Indiana fans used discriminatory language toward Angel Reese. Though serious on paper, Barkley remained unconvinced. Where's the evidence? We've got an incredible start to the season, and this is what we're focusing on.
But we're not. What's bad, instead of talking about all the good things happening for the WNBA, we're talking about negativity. And all publicity, there used to be that old saying, all publicity is good publicity. No, it's not. Not when you're a niche sport trying to get the consumers to buy into your product.
Barkley's doubts made one thing obvious. He believed this whole situation was driven more by bitterness than fact. His criticism targeted not only the investigation, but also players like Reese, whom he accused of stirring up unnecessary drama instead of celebrating the league's growth. His fiery comments were fueled by his defense of Caitlin Clark, who's quickly become one of the most talked about stars in the WNBA.
Petty jealousy, and it's really unfortunate because what she's done for the game. Yeah, listen, I believe in Ricky Hazen, but some of the criticism has gotten overboard.
During the discussion, Barkley pointed to impressive numbers. Clark's rise boosted draft viewership by an astounding 400% and ticket sales by 93%. That's the kind of impact Steph Curry has in the NBA, Barkley said, drawing a strong comparison. He described how stars like Curry transformed their leagues, uplifting everyone rather than overshadowing teammates. Steph didn't make people jealous. He made them money, Barkley emphasized.
The girls got to grow up and you know what? I can go at her hard on the basketball court, but the visibility and stuff she's bringing to the league is it's going to fill all our wallets up in the long run. But the stuff toward her is petty and jealous. And the thing I love about her, she never says a word, but there's been so much negativity, and a lot of it is just petty jealousness.
For Barkley, the issue wasn't just the false allegations, but a bigger problem within the league. Players tearing each other down instead of building the league up together. Rather than applauding Clark's impact, some seemed bent on twisting the narrative. Barkley expressed frustration not only with the claims, but with how the WNBA let this controversy overshadow the Fever's dominant opener and Clark's standout performance.
Well, like I say, it's just a lot of petty jealousy out there, and it's really unfortunate. Taken away from the women's game, because no matter what sport, if you're talking more about something other than the sport, so anything, this is just taken away from the game, in my opinion. What
should have been a moment of celebration was instead clouded by unnecessary negativity. This league has enough challenges without players turning against each other, he said, shaking his head. What kind of message are we sending fans when we focus on unproven allegations instead of the action on the court?
Just as suspected, nothing. And that other fan base, the old fan base, came after the Fever players, Fever fans.
Wrapping up his critique, Barkley was unwavering. Some players, he said with deliberate emphasis, need to quit being jealous and start appreciating what Caitlin Clark is doing, bringing attention to this league like no one else. His blunt words captured the frustration of fans and analysts who want the WNBA to prioritize growth and unity. With the investigation's conclusion now public, Barkley made it clear where his loyalties lie.
So it's really unfortunate, and it's just, and I like the way she's handling. She hasn't said anything because you got so many fools out here who got opinions, unfortunately, negative opinions on television, on radio, and things like that. So I'm glad she's staying above the fray.
The WNBA's investigation results are out, and they left no room for doubt. No proof was found to support the accusations of fan misconduct or racial discrimination during the Indiana Fever's season opener. After interviewing attendees, staff, and reviewing footage, the league ruled the claims against Fever fans were unfounded. For many, this brought not only relief, but a sense of vindication, especially for those wrongly accused.
And you old fans, you ones accusing us of racism and all that, y'all just took an L, and a big one. However, the league is also taking a big L because there's no apologies to any fans whatsoever on this totally BS statement released by the WNBA.
Now,
when the investigation was first announced, it sparked major controversy. The allegations suggested Indiana fans had behaved racistly toward Angel Reese, and the league's quick response only intensified the backlash. Fever fans were outraged, and understandably so, feeling their reputation had been unfairly dragged through the mud without solid proof. Instead of celebrating a great season start and Clark's triple-double, the spotlight was stolen by this negative storyline.
Yeah, you found nothing. That's great. That's accurate. Guess who told you would find nothing? The entire Indiana Fever fan base said you weren't going to find anything.
Here's the kicker: the league's handling made things worse. When they released the investigation's findings, they stated the claims weren't substantiated, but did not apologize to the fans falsely accused. Think about it. The Fever fans were cleared, but for nearly a week, they had been unfairly portrayed as troublemakers. Yet, the league remained silent on making amends for this. That silence hit hard with the community.
The WNBA is committed to fostering a safe and inclusive environment for everyone and will continue to be vigilant in enforcing our fan code of conduct. Where is the apology to your fans?
The fallout didn't end there. The absence of an apology and the league's failure to address the harm caused led many fans to question its priorities. Fever supporters felt isolated, with some even hinting at boycotts of games outside Indiana. This controversy created division at a time when the league should have been rallying around the excitement of a new season.
But this league that has never turned a profit decided to accuse their own fans of racism. Indiana Fever, as an organization, you're culpable here too. I mean, you are.
And Charles Barkley wasn't going to stay quiet either. He was quick to criticize even before the results were announced. Once the findings confirmed his doubts, he didn't hold back. "You let baseless accusations dominate headlines," he said, pointing out the league's failure to control the story and protect its fans.
I have a suspicion that outside of Indiana Fever game, there may be a boycott of every other game in your league. Of course, judging by the ratings, sometimes it looks like there already is a natural one.
For Barkley, this wasn't just another sports controversy, it was about responsibility and staying focused. You have a rising star like Caitlin Clark turning this league into a must-watch event? And somehow that's not the story? He asked, clearly frustrated that the drama had stolen attention from the real positives on the court.
I don't know what it is with the old fandom. I don't know what it is about fans of other teams. But man, they didn't want regular sports fans to enter their arena. We're here. We're here. And we don't take things like this lying down. We don't stay quiet.